What's up YouTube, Deadraw here, bringing another video today. Today I want to talk about the ban list and the ban list predictions I have. Now, a lot of these videos have been coming up lately. I thought I'd give my input. I think a lot of it's going to be pretty similar to other videos, but I think I'm also going to add, like, at the end, what I would like to see hit, what my favorites would hit or unbanned and stuff like that. But let's kind of get into this. Also, I feel like our ban list should have come out by now, or it should be out anytime, or it was planned to be out around this week. But I think YCS Salt Lake actually shook up enough things that they weren't probably really thinking about hitting Draco too hard, but they might be now. Just my opinion, but who knows? I could just completely be wrong. But let's get into this. First off, let's go over Pendulum Magician. Pendulum Magician, the arguable #1 deck that had no top 8 spots in YCS Salt Lake. I mean, shit happens. Let's just put it that way. But Pendulum Magician, Astrograph, everyone's on everyone's mind. Astrograph. Yes, this card is likely gonna get hit. Yeah, I'm not sure in which way. I think it could get banned, and that would hit that. It would hurt the deck enough. Astrograph just getting completely banned. It's a very possibility. I think Electromite is also another one we need to talk about. I feel like Astrograph could get limited if Electromite did get limited, though. That doesn't completely stop Astrograph. Astrograph is still be a played and good card at 1. But I think Electromite, I think a lot of people have talked about how this card isn't that good, but it really is that good. I think it is a card that is ban worthy. Do I think it's going to get banned on this list? No, I don't think it's going to get banned on this list. I think something else will come down later down the road in Pendulum, a Pendulum deck that will just completely bust it, and then it will get banned. But as of right now, I do not think it will get banned. I don't know. I see why they made it a Pendulum generic, but at the same time, I don't feel like it should have been. It should have been probably just left to Metalthos, because this card is just really broken in other Pendulum decks. The effect to draw 1 and search 1 is so good. And then adding, when it's link summon, adding 1 to your extra deck is just so good once again. Like it's just a very powerful card. So I do feel like it is ban worthy, but it's not gonna get banned on this ban list. If it does, I'm gonna be completely surprised, to be honest with you. But I do see Astrograph getting banned on this ban list. If Electromite got hit to 1 on this ban list, maybe Astrograph just goes to 1, because they don't want to completely just kill the deck. But I feel like I think leaving Astrograph in the game would just be enough to not have the deck be dead. The deck still be really tier viable, very competitive viable, and whatnot. And then next, we're gonna go over True Dracos. Now, True Draco, you have been hit once on this ban list already. Same with Pen Magicians. And that's why these are the 2 first ones I'm talking about. Both these decks have been already hit on this list. They don't really have any further support coming out that I know of. And I think that like I think this is the end. This is the end for those decks. I think that right before Nats, Konami's gonna say, hey, no, we don't want you playing these. I think that's a very likely thing. Keep in mind, this is national ban list that's going to be happening. So this will be the format we're playing for Nats. So it could be really go either way here, but we'll kind of get into that a little bit before or a little bit after. But so True Draco, I think Diagram to 1 is honestly probably going to happen. We could see a ban on it like the OCG. If you guys, for those of you who don't know, OCG has Masterpiece and Diagram both banned in their format. So it's just, you're not playing those decks. It's just honestly, that's how their ban list is. I think Diagram is really powerful for other decks as well, though. I feel like there's a big possibility that, like, it doesn't get hit and they ban Masterpiece. If they straight up ban Masterpiece, they can actually leave I keep on getting confused with Astrograph. They can probably leave Diagram both at 3, honestly, but I think Diagram to 1 and then leaving Masterpiece is not going to be that big of a deal. I think the deck would still be playable, but not tier. I don't think it would be tier in that aspect. But who knows? We could see something similar to OCG getting rid of both Masterpiece and Diagram. I believe Diagram is banned. or it's either banned or limited. Yeah, so there's that, and then yeah, those are the two big decks of this format, honestly. With other decks, you know, having a lot less tops than the other decks having a lot less tops here. Actually, I'm just gonna look, make sure I am right. You believe it is banned? I feel like that is OCG's kind of out though to a lot of things. They do ban a lot more than like we like to ban things, like here in the TCG. Yeah, diagram is banned in the. So there's that. Now let's talk about the next things. I have a list here I want to talk about. So True Dracos, that's pretty much I have to say. That's all they're gonna hit. I don't think they're gonna hit anything else in that. A lot of people are saying Card of Demise might get hit. I don't see Card of Demise being hit. The card's really good, and there's always gonna be rogue decks that play it, and I think that's why it's not gonna get hit, is because it's kind of meant for those random rogue decks that can play Card of Demise that aren't as strong, but they make them stronger and more viable. So I don't see really Demise getting hit. I feel like Demise is pretty safe to keep. I don't think like you should go be selling them or anything. Could be wrong. Demise is a really powerful card. It is. I think it is like banlist potential, but the reasoning behind it has to be a better reasoning than just True Draco playing it, I think, in my opinion. Also, like, one thing we can talk about is a Mono Watto. A Mono Watto is a card that says no interacting with my boards, pretty much. It's a really, really strong card. Could I see this card getting limited? No, probably not, but it could. Like, I could see it happening, but do I think it's gonna happen? Probably not. I feel like it's a really good stun card. I think it's really good in stun. Another thing, really good in rogue. It just happened to be True Draco is so powerful that, you know, a Mono Watto works so well on it. But if True Draco isn't there, then it's going to be using stun, and it's a good thing for stun and whatnot. So I don't think it really should get hit at all. Now let's talk about TRICKSTAR. Now TRICKSTAR is a special one on this one. First off, because I'm a TRICKSTAR player, so it might come off as a little bit biased. I just want to throw that out there. But at the same time, we're seeing little tops by TRICKSTARs. They have not won an event. They have not. I don't even know if they've made top 4. I think they may have made like one top 4 once. They haven't won any major YCSs or anything. I think maybe it won a UDS. I'm not 100% sure. But this deck is definitely topping the least out of True Draco. If you want to call, we pretend we have a big 3, it'd be TRICKSTAR, True Draco, and Pendulum Magician, and this is topping the least, the very least. I think there was one TRICKSTAR deck in the top 32 of YCS Salt Lake, and then a few more in the other YCSs that we had before. So I think it's actually possible that TRICKSTAR missed this ban list. Do I think it will for sure? No. I think Reincarnation has the biggest threat of being hit. But are they going to completely limit it like they did in OCG? I don't think so. I mean, it's a possibility. TRICKSTAR Reincarnation could go to 1, but at the same time, I think that if we were to see a TRICKSTAR hit, it's going to be Reincarnation to 2 and semi-limited. And I know that doesn't stop the draw and lock combo, and that is a pretty bad combo to have it. But you know, I just feel like there's support coming out for TRICKSTARs and Flames of Destruction. We're getting this balance before Flames. It would make no sense. They just reprinted all the TRICKSTAR stuff in Vrains and the Vrains pack, which is are literally the only like good cards in the set besides like Decode Talker, which probably is, you know. So like, I feel like since they reprinted it, they didn't reprint Reincarnation. I feel like they'd be missing out having support. I think they'd just be missing out a lot on the TRICKSTAR stuff. So it's very possible the ban list could just skip it, but it is possible it gets limited. But I feel like if anything, it's gonna get semi-limited. I feel like Reincarnation would be a good card to have 2 of in the deck. I don't think it'd be too cancerous. If Drone Lockbird was either banned or at 1, so we see less Drone Lockbird. I feel like Drone Lockbird's the problem, not Reincarnation. Reincarnation is a really good card, getting rid of a lot of your opponent's deck. But I don't think it's that good. Even though I have a video coming out of like who the hell designed this card, kind of featuring TRICKSTARs. But yeah, no. So that's all I have to say about TRICKSTAR. But with support coming out, I feel like Konami's not going to want to hit it. they're just not going to want to. But the deck is playable without Trickstar Reincarnation. Like, honestly, it becomes playable with the new support it gets. But yeah, completely. So that's all we have to say. Now we can talk about. We'll talk about Invoked Mech Knight, and I just feel like this deck is just missing this ban list completely. Um, I mean, who knows? They could hit it like in the Invoked because that's been around for a while as well. But I just don't see it happening. I feel like it's not winning topping enough. I feel like it's probably one of the healthier decks of the format. Actually, yes, Mechaba could be a fucking bitch to deal with, but at the same time, Mechaba is very play around. Like, you could play around Mechaba quite easily. So I think like I think it's just gonna completely miss this ban list. I don't really see too much happening there. So now those are kind of the decks like I wish to talk about. Now we'll kind of get into single cards, or well, I want to talk about like the Light Swarm / Dinos. I feel like Dinos are gonna miss this ban list. I feel like if anything could happen, I think Double Evolution Pill to 1. I don't think it would get banned, but putting it to 1, wouldn't hurt the deck too bad. It'd still be completely playable. Overraptor could be limited as well, but I just don't see it happening on this ban list. I don't think it's getting enough tops. But yeah, I just don't see that happening. And then yeah, so those are the decks. And then Light Swarm, I actually do think that this deck could get hit on this list, and there's a little bit different reasoning for that. First off, Lonefire being played at 3 again. They removed Lonefire off the ban list. I think it was limited before, and then they put it down to 3. I'm not 100% sure. They might have took it down slowly. I can't quite remember, but I know at a point Lonefire was not playable. I think since it's a former banned card, or a former card that's been on the ban list, I think it was banned at a point, but I'm not 100% sure actually. With it being like that, I think that Lonefire could get hit again. That's just purely because they're gonna keep track of cards that they've put on they've had on the ban list before. That's what they always do to test the waters and stuff like that. And then Scorpio, I think Scorpio could get hit as well. Just we saw it in the OCG, just Lonefire and Scorpio to 1. I think they both could get limited. I think it's a fine limit. I think that works completely fine in the deck. Honestly, I think the reason I think it would get limited is because Brilliant Fusion is such a strong engine already. Adding the Scorpio to Search Brilliant is just crazy. It's just a crazy engine. The plays you can make with it is like, it's just crazy. So I think if they're gonna hit the Brilliant engine, they're gonna hit the Scorpio with 1, just to hurt that engine a little bit more, and not keep that engine crazy. I have talked about in the past that Brilliant Fusion, that engine is busted, and I think it really makes a lot of rogue decks really good, but at the same time, I don't think it's like bannable or limitable right now in this meta. So yeah, those are the things, and then we'll kind of get into a few cards. And yeah, so also, now let's talk about some other stuff that could get limited or might be on the ban list. Terraforming is the big one that we may see get limited. They did this in the OCG. It honestly really could happen here. I don't know if it's gonna happen on this list, but I think that it's very viable that it can happen. Terraforming is just so strong in a really field card heavy game right now. I mean, I think for the past few formats, field spells have been really powerful. They make and break decks, honestly. So I feel like Terraforming hit could happen, but will it happen? I'm not sure. We could see it, but they might save it till after Worlds. Who knows? Scapegoat is one of the other cards. In the OCG, they actually did semi-limit Scapegoat. I feel like we might get Scapegoat semi-limited before it gets limited. I think it's a totally card that should probably be limited, but I feel like we will get it semi-limited before it gets limited to see how that goes. And then I think, yeah, Terraforming, and then now Supreme King Dragon Darkworm. This card is, yes, it's a pendulum card, but it is not played just in pendulums. I feel like this card's actually just completely broken and should probably be banned. I think, if you control no monsters and it's in your graveyard, you get special summon it, and then you get the normal summon, and it's a literally free rank 4. I think this card is actually just completely busted. I think it's just completely broken. You Foolish it or Dragon Ravine it. It's just really busted. Probably shouldn't be a thing. One thing you can do with this card is stupid things like it's like you can just use like you can special it and then like use Destrudo that same turn too. It's pretty busted. I think this card probably is like completely bannable just because it having that like it's essentially even if your opponent clears your board, you're still gonna have plays just set up no matter what. Because it's in your graveyard. If it was like from your hand, completely acceptable, but from your graveyard, I just don't think that's acceptable or healthy for the game. So those are the main cards, and then we'll talk about two more cards I actually do think are getting bad, and that would be the Nightingale, the Pendulum FTK Fusion card. I feel like that card is going to get banned. Konami has put a lot of hate on FTKs and in the past, and that's probably going to get banned. I just don't see that. And then possibility the fusion card for the Gem Knight FTK, which is the Lapis Lazuli or whatever it's called. I think that has a very, very potential to get banned too, because just the hate Konami in the past have shown for FTK decks. I feel like it's just a very, very, very viable. All right, guys, just quickly before I'm gonna add this just before we do the recap of the video. Of what the format's going to be like after this, after the ban list, what I think Nat's format's going to be like. I want to talk about some cards. I kind of just forgot to completely talk about them. Which one is going to be Ash Blossom. I do not think this card's going to get hit this format or this ban list. I just don't see Ash Blossom being hit. It just got reprinted in Kaiba Collection, so some people say, well, it could get hit now because they made their money off it. But I think there's still money to be made. I think this card in a promo as a tin is going to sell that. I just don't see it being hit to 2 yet like it did in the OCG. I think there's still money to be made off this card. It's still, if they want to do a second run of Kaiba Collection, they can do it and it will sell because of this card, honestly. So I don't see that being hit. But yeah, so I just don't see this card being hit. Also, want to talk about Shaddoll Construct, how we got put the one in OCG. I think we're going to get Construct back, but not this list. I don't think it's coming out this list. I think we'll probably get it after Post Worlds. Honestly, I think we'll probably get Construct back Post Worlds. To have us catch up with the OCG ban list. So those are two things I forgot to talk about. I want to mention, I just thought I'd throw in at the end here real quick, because I feel like that's my opinions on this ban list. I think this ban list is pretty clear what I think is going to get hit, but we'll see. Hopefully they just do something crazy. I just want them to do something crazy. Please, Konami, prove me completely wrong. Do something completely crazy. I don't know, man. Just do something. Anyway, guys, yeah. Now, let's talk about a little bit about what I would want banned. I honestly want I want Dino's gone. I think putting dealing with a Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, and not just when I play TRICKSTAR, but when I play any deck, dealing with Tyranno is honestly just freaking dumb. It is not fun to deal with. It is really annoying, and I think that card's just too good. I would want to see Overraptor to 1 and Double Evolution Pill to 1, but that's probably not gonna happen, like I said. But those are my wants. Like my perfect ban list would be like Astrograph banned and like that. I was gonna talk a little bit about Skull Dread, but I think it's too early to see that card banned. But I think Skull Dread is a banned worthy card as well. I think that is just super good. So yeah. Now that we talked about all the things I think are going to get hit, so I think the what the format for Nats is going to be similar to, I think it's honestly going to be like Dinos, Mech Knight Invoked, and Trickstar. I think that's like the format we're kind of going to be the big 3 decks going into it. Who knows? It could. I don't know if in another deck. I haven't been paying attention enough to the OCG to see what's going on over there, for meta kind of analysis. But I think that those could be our big 3 for Nats. I think that's very, 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 very viable. If that's what's gonna happen. Who knows though? They could just make this ban list very small, and it not be really much, and keep a really similar format since it is really diverse. They could keep this similar format and you know, go into Nats, play that, and then do a huge hit of like everything, including Trickstar, like everything after Worlds. But I don't know. We'll see, guys. Anyway, I would like to thank you for watching. If you guys made it through this far, it was a big rant. I'm gonna be editing it, and it's gonna take a little bit. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. We'll see ya.